Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's Marketing That Grows Your Business show. We're going to be digging into something that is I'm very passionate about because I've seen such a marked difference in my business since I really embraced this. Um, and it's really about getting clear on, is your website designed to convert business for you or is it not? And mine wasn't. So, and maybe yours isn't. So, my hope is that today I can share three simple things because it gets overwhelming if you have to do all the things, right? But three simple things that high converting websites do differently than other websites. So they, like I say, you can do these things as well. So as you guys are coming in, just give me a shout out. Where in the world is everybody this morning? Y'all, this Florida girl, I guess I can't say that I'm a Florida girl anymore, but my blood must be still thin because even having been here all summer in Virginia, it's getting cold here. And it's getting cold here. And I'm like, ooh, it's a little on the nippy side. We had frost the past few mornings. And yeah, I'm like, I was Googling warm clothes this morning because I'm not sure my wardrobe is up to par. So yeah, it's getting a little bit chilly. So Norma, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Gary, Indiana. I bet it's cold there too. New York City, Elaine, I bet you it is a little chilly there too. Paul, welcome. I'm so excited to see you. You're always with us almost every Monday, and it's always good to see you. So, yeah, it's on little on the chilly side. But anyway, it is going to be lovely to see all the leaves this year. I am really excited about that. So a couple of quick things before we dig into today's training. We are doing this slightly differently this week because we did this poll not long ago, and some of you guys said, "Hey, I like when you do the training, Kim, and then I like having your guests come and share their knowledge too." So we've kind of been doing a hybrid, like once a month I do a training. So it's my turn to share some of the things that I know. So Ed, hey Ed, good to see you. I see Lisa is in the house. Good morning. Good morning. We've got Juan from Tampa. It's still warm down there, right, Juan? Vicky, good to see you. 70 already. Wow, super awesome because it means it's going to be an awesome day there. So anyway, going back to, I got a little sidetracked by saying hey to everybody. What was I talking about? I totally lost my train of thought. So I'm going to start from wherever my brain picks back up, y'all. So we do giveaways on all of the shows. So today is no different. We're going to be giving away one of our, we call them content packs. They're basically graphics that are pre-designed, but they have a purpose. And this particular content pack is or collection, there's a better way of saying it, is designed to get people chatting with you. So this is one of my specialties. I kind of have a knack for, and I don't know why, but I kind of have a knack for creating content that is designed to get people to actually engage with you. So we're going to be giving away 2 of these collections today. And how do you win? Well, we have about 3 ways. So make a couple of notes. Now you don't have to make a note literally, but how do you win? 1, share your aha moments. An aha moment is like, I didn't know that. Or sometimes we need to hear things again. Even though we know it, we need to hear it again. So that's an aha moment. Drop hashtag aha down under so that we can enter you into the Wheel of Wow. We draw the winners at the end of the show. Again, giving you guys some content that is designed to get people chitter-chattering with you. So you don't have to think so hard about it. You can also tag someone in the comments or share it out, sprinkle it out into, using my friend Molly's word, sprinkle it out into the world, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who need this knowledge so that they can start creating. Ultimately, it's about more sales, which I'll talk a little bit more about. And then ask questions. We love them. I am going to be very engaged with the audience today. So guys and gals, please ask any questions you have. We love questions and would love to make sure that your questions get answered. Robin, girl, I hope you're doing good. I've had you in my prayers. My thoughts and prayers are with you. I hope you're doing good. It's good to see you here. We have Mary in the house. Welcome. I'm so glad. Like I say, so awesome to see you guys here this morning. Okay, so that's kind of all the housekeeping things I can think of off the top of my head. I have a little bit of a lighting issue going on here. Sorry, I'll try to lean this way so it's not distracting. It's distracting to me, so it might be distracting to you guys too. Okay, so again, the topic today is, what do high converting websites do differently than maybe what you have? So quick question for you, and no judgment here. I'm just curious, because at the end of the day, this is all about you picking up something you can use today, okay? So do you feel like your website converts leads and sales as it is right now? I mean, in some cases, I think when we're in the social media space, we're using social, all the relationships that we're using or developing in social to drive traffic to our website, which means that our website doesn't have to work as hard, which is not a bad thing. But think about it. What happens to all the people that are looking for you guys every day, like looking for solutions to the problems that that they have? They're going to the Google machine and they're typing in their problem. How do I fix this? Or how do I solve that? And can they find you? And when they do, is it clear that you have the solution they're looking for? So, which means, are you converting people that are looking for you that you don't have to work so hard to convince to buy because they're looking for the solution? In social, I think we have to hustle a lot. The people that we attract our way, they have to watch 10 videos, or they have to have 30 touch points with us, or, whatever the number is these days. It's crazy. The touch points that's required today in order for us to convert from social, which is why I think a lot of people aren't converting from social. It's difficult. So I think that is one of the reasons that what I'm getting ready to share with you will be hopefully super powerful. So I'm going to pull on my screen. And like I say, please, please, please ask questions as we go. This will be, I hope, super powerful for you. All right, so let's get this pulled up. So like I say, we're going to talk about high converting websites and what do they do differently. So let me just say real quick, what is a high converting website? It's just that. Does it convert a lead? Is there a lead gen on the page? That's important. Is it converting sales? That's obviously important. And if it's not, why isn't it? So these are core things that high converting websites do differently than ones that aren't. Okay, so we're going to do a comparison kind of thing. So this is a fascinating. Let me remove this real quick so that it doesn't block our view. There we go. So websites that optimize for that are optimized for conversion get 2 times the traffic, 2 times the sales. And they usually see, well, like I say, a large increase in sales. And if you think about it, I wanted to lead off with this because this is an important component to why would we do this, right? Why would we change what we're doing if, even if it's not working, right? Even if we have a website and we've checked that box and we've said, yes, I have a website, but it's not creating leads and sales. Well, look at this. Websites that are optimized for conversion are 2 times more likely to see a large increase in sales. Did you know that? Which begs the next question. If that's true, then why in the world does people not really step into this and fix it? Right? That can sometimes be one of those things that is difficult to understand, is why in the world are people not more focused on finding a solution to this problem? In some cases, they don't know how, which if that's you, I'm going to give you the goodies today. Okay. So I've often said that first impressions when someone lands on your website is a powerful, powerful thing. Meaning, the first impression is usually visual. Visual meaning the overarching look of your website. Does the color schemes attract someone? That is usually the first thing that people see. I mean, if you think about it, if you walk into any store and it like gives you a good vibe, like, don't you continue to go in? Like, right? Like, you're like, yes, I feel good about this. So think about your website from that perspective first. Does it look good? Is it going to have what I call curb, or does it have what I call curb appeal? I use this analogy quite frequently. If someone is, going out to eat, let's just say, and we all probably have gone out to eat over the years somewhere, and you pull up to a restaurant that looks a little seedy, you're like, man, this kind of looks like a dive, and I'm not sure I want to go in. Versus you pull up to a restaurant that looks good, it's got great landscaping, it looks welcoming. Yeah, don't even hesitate to roll out of the car, right? But that seedy one, so does your website look like a great place to walk into, or does it look seedy? Although this is not one of the three things I want to share with you, but I did want to see this because first impressions matter for your brand. It takes about like half a second, y'all, for people to form an opinion on your website. And that's what I mean when I say looking good is half the battle. You have that first impression is usually a visual impression before they ever read the first word. What? That is a stunning thing to acknowledge and realize. So just again, think about it for a hot second, okay? And then I want you to think about this from the perspective of, like, if you ever been in a grocery store and you see all these like magazines or newspapers, you're not so much newspapers, but I used a newspaper here because we liken newspapers to headlines, right? Usually you see the headline, it grabs your attention, you pick it up, you read the article. In other words, you read more. It's the same with blog posts. If the headline grabs our attention, we read it, right? If we're in the grocery line and a magazine has a great headline, we pick it up and we flip through to find whatever it is, right? So this is critical, is what prompts someone to read more is usually, like I say, that headline component. You have 0 to 8 seconds to grab attention with that transformational headline. So, and when I'm talking about visuals across the board, I include this. I'm going to dig into this a little bit more in a second, but I wanted to set the stage for the first impression that your website has, meaning most of the time it's the visual components, like what does it look like? And then the very next thing that people key in on is that headline. If you don't nail these two things, it really doesn't matter what else is on your website. That's a harsh reality. That's tough, right? Oh, I hated to even say it, but I'm just going to tell you the truth. You really just have anywhere from 0 to 8 seconds to grab someone's attention. After 8 seconds, the majority of your visitors are going to bounce. And when I say bounce, that means leave. They're going to take off. And I want you to think about this too, because this is a dynamic that has shifted over the years. Some of you that have been following me for years know I've been around for a minute. And in the early days, my very first business was web design. And it really didn't matter what your website looked like back then. It didn't really matter, really. The core components of a website back then was really navigation. If people could find the things, it was perfect. And it was because people had more time then. There wasn't as much competition for their eyeballs. And so there was a bigger fascination with websites, and they would take their time, they would dig around, they'd find the things that they needed. That is not true today. That is no longer true. So, people's time and attention is so minuscule today that we have to compete at a way higher level, and we have to be optimized to be in the running. Otherwise, we're just going to be pushed to the side, and we're not even going to be in the running when it comes to deciding whether I'm going to do business with this brand, this business, this person. If you don't optimize soon, you're not even in the running. And that is unacceptable. Amen? Right? Amen. So, all right. So let's dig in. I'm going to reverse engineer this. When I first put this together, I was like, I'm going to go down with the top 3 things that I think you have to have. And I'm going to count down in the order of, I think, importance. So we're going to start with something that most websites do not have. Even if they have a headline and some of the other things I'm going to talk about, they have not mapped out what I call a customer journey path. And this is important because when somebody wants to work with you, they need the simplest, most direct route to make that happen. What does that look like? And if you think it through, it's usually pretty simple. It's usually a simple 3-step process, probably no more than 4 to 5 if it has to be. I usually encourage people to keep it to 3 steps. You need a clear, and I'm going to be using this clear word a lot. And there's a reason for that. Clarity is what makes the difference between a conversion and a non-conversion. If you can get super clear on the components of your website, then it's going to be a lot clearer to the person that you're trying to serve, the person that you're ultimately trying to convert to a sale or a lead or a sale. So having a clear customer journey path, what does that look like? What does that even mean? Okay. So let's just dig into that a little bit more. Basically, it's a path to showcase how do they work with you? What does it look like? And is it easy for them to take the steps that you lay out for them as a journey, as a path to getting there? Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Here's a 3-step process. This is a coach. So they're booking a strategy call. We'll develop your message, and then we'll get words that actually, this is a copywriter. I apologize. This is a copywriter business. So this person wants, and I'll use the word she because this is a business that's owned by a female entrepreneur. The first step is book a strategy call. The second step is we're going to develop the words that resonate with your audience. The third step is you're going to come out on the other side with the thing that you want. So usually the first 2 are like the stepping stones. The third is all about the outcome. What is it that they want? Why would they work with you? So that third step is the transformation that they will achieve by working with you. And I ended up going backwards there. Apologize. Here's another example. 3 steps. Schedule a discovery call. We'll create a plan together, you and I, or in this case, whomever this business is, and we'll live a more fulfilled life. And there's a call to action there, schedule a discovery call. Here's another example. And I use this example quite frequently when I'm talking about clear messaging. One of the I think stumbling stones when it comes to getting clarity on what it is that you do is, how do you show up differently? So let me give you a quick example. In a case of a bakery that specializes in wedding cakes, well, there's a lot of bakeries out there, probably in most towns. There's probably a lot of them that create amazing looking cakes, right? Most wedding cakes are beautiful. They're not ugly, so the expectation that you're going to get a beautiful wedding cake is kind of like baked into the whole concept already. If you're Googling and looking for wedding cakes, the expectation is that you're going to get a beautiful wedding cake. Now, the differentiator is that most wedding cakes don't taste awesome. They are kind of nasty sometimes. But that's a component that's important to a bride. So in this case, their journey, customer journey path is they want you to come in. This is a brick and mortar business. This is a local business. They want you to come in, taste test the cake because they are competing on taste. So they want you to taste it and know that it's amazing. And then the simple path is schedule the delivery of your amazingly beautiful wedding cake that tastes incredible. So that's a simple 3-step process, right? Think about it. What is your simple 3-step process to get somebody to work with you? Is it, if you're a service provider, it could be that booking a call, right? You help them develop the plan, and then you give them the results that they're looking for at the end of that. But we all need this. And if you don't have it, it makes it very difficult for your person to envision working with you because they don't know what that looks like. They don't have a clue on what they need to do to get the thing that they're looking for. So this is important. Just hint, hint, hint. Okay, so then the next component is that, let me say this as succinctly as I can. Websites that convert, almost always, in fact, I've never seen one that doesn't have a clear call to action. So when we're talking conversions, this makes sense, right? If you don't tell people what to do, guess what? They don't do it. What? Like, isn't it like just, can't they intuitively like just see the path? Like that they just know what they should do? Like, it's super clear to me. I don't understand why they can't see what they need to do. Trust me, you have to tell people what to do. And having a clear call to action is imperative. And it's not all the clear call to actions. So we recently did a website for a client. We did a clear messaging. We applied our clear messaging framework to his brand. And when we first started working with him, he had 5 or 6 calls to action on his homepage. Now, they weren't one call to action. In other words, they didn't go to the same place. They went to 5 different things. Can you imagine how confused his visitors were? Because they didn't know where to go. Lots of times when we are trying to put our website together, we're thinking through the lens of, well, I've got to give them options. What if they're different from, this person needs this thing and this person needs the other thing? I need to give them all the options. No, go think back through the customer journey that I just talked about. How are you going to get your person to see, to navigate through that customer journey? It usually starts with the call to action to the first step. Your call to action should connect as a first step to your customer journey because you got to put them on the road. Okay? If you don't put them on the road to getting the thing that they want and you don't give them that path, you haven't connected the dots for them. Okay? So again, it's super important because a confused mind will always say, nope, don't need this. I'm out of here. If they can't figure it out, again, very quickly, they're going to bounce. They're going to leave. They're going to go to your competition. They're going to find somebody else that can ultimately help them get a solution to the problem that they have. So if you are confusing your person, they are going to leave and go, like I say, go somewhere else. So what is your call to action? Is it, get a free consultation? Is that the first step in your customer journey? It could be. Do you want them to buy if you have physical products? Absolutely, it could be. Maybe you've got an event and you want them to book a ticket or book a call, purchase tickets, register for something for free if you're doing a webinar, or any kind of event for that matter. But you need to specifically say what it is that you want them to do. Okay. And that first step, again, goes back to your customer journey path. What is it? Like, what is it? You want to put them on the road to working with you, and it needs to happen right in that first call to action. And the call to action should be the same all the way through your homepage, not like all over the place, not like go here for this, go there for the other thing. You're confusing your visitors mightily. The reason that you might want other types of pages, you might want to have a different call to action on a different page that would send them somewhere else. But on your homepage, your primary website where your house sits, you want to bring them through the front door, not through the side door, or try to force them to come in all the doors at the same time. Like, that's physically impossible, right? Think about this through the lens of the house. If you, again, going back to that analogy, nobody comes through all the doors, like, right? They choose a door, but give them directions so that they can come in the door. Okay. All right. So changing, let me give you a couple of things that matter in the construct of increasing your conversions. Words matter. Always, words matter. Changing the text on your button, what does your call to action button say, can be massively important. So here's a quick example. Changing a button from see plans and pricing, which takes you to a pricing page, because that's where you want to get them onto, in this particular example, getting them onto the customer journey path. To get started today, increase their conversions by 252%. Wow. On a button, y'all. So can you imagine if your button doesn't say the thing or do you need to test the button? You can test the button, test the verbiage that are on your buttons so that you can find out what's going to work the best for you, because it matters. Changing your call to action button from green to red has been shown to increase conversions by as much as 34%. So again, changing the text is one thing, what it says, like I said, words matter. And then button color matters. Who knew? What? Yeah, button color does matter. Now, that doesn't mean that green to red is going to be like the end all be all for you by simply just going to your website and changing your green button or whatever color it is to red. But this is why I want to give you some specific examples of things that have increased conversions, because they wouldn't have known this if they hadn't tested it. Okay. So if they hadn't changed their green button to red, they would have had no idea that their conversions would have increased from 34% by 34%. They would have had no way of knowing that by simply changing see plans and pricing to get started today, that their conversions were going to increase 252%. So moral to this story is you got to test the things. So for you, the button color might be different, but red does usually work. Just hint, hint. I would encourage you to change it just to see. If you don't have a red button, give it a go and see if it increases your conversions. And last but not least, so like I said, I kind of have reverse engineered the structure of how high converting websites do the thing. How do they get better conversions on their website? Going back to the house analogy or the restaurant analogy, either one, I think the restaurant analogy really works from the perspective of we've all been probably to, I will call it a dive, and you drive up and there's not even a clear sign on the outside that tells you what the name of the restaurant is. Somebody told you that, it was a good restaurant. You Googled the name, you get there and you're like, I think this is it, but I'm not sure because I don't even see a sign for it. Okay. Versus a restaurant you go to, it's clearly marked. You clearly see the name of the restaurant on the outside. They have a clear entry point, right? They have a clear, you feel like I can walk into this restaurant and feel good about this. So this is what your website has to have at it right behind, looking good, having that first impression is what happens if somebody comes to your website and it looks, they just do a glance in that half of a second, y'all, half of a second you have. They do a quick glance. They look at the colors a little bit. It starts to process in their brain. The very next thing that they do is they look at your headline. And does your headline matter to them? Does your headline say to them that you solve the problem that they have? Does it? If it doesn't, what's going to happen? Again, you have that 8 seconds. I say it's more like 3 because they've taken a quick glance around. Their brain's starting to process that information. They read your headline. I think 3 to 5 seconds, honestly. The stats are 8, but 3 to 5 seconds. They read your headline. Is this for them or not? Having that clear transformational headline is super important. So what in the heck is a clear transformational headline? I think it's really about the outcome. It's no longer about us, you guys. So even as a personal brand, you cannot say, I don't think anymore. I think you really have to get to the root of what it is that people want. They want to get an outcome. So hire the right person every time. And then there's a path to getting that outcome. So if I'm looking to, find the right person, I don't want to mess around. I am so sick of going to every website out there, trolling through all of these variety of resumes and trying to get people to do the one thing. I'm just sick of that. I need a better way to build my team, right? So if I'm looking for that, then I come to this website, hire the right person every time. Heck to the yes, I need this. And I read on. So that's why it's so important. It's just like if you're going through the grocery line and you see a headline that catches your interest, you're going to pick that up and flip through, check it out, buy the magazine even maybe. But you're not going to read on if that headline does not catch your attention. So let me give you a couple more examples. So here's a church website, and I thought this one was really well done because it tugs on an emotional component. All people deserve to know their creator. How powerful is that? Versus welcome to, what's the name of it? Reach the Rest Church, which is what most churches do. Right? Most churches are like, yeah, welcome to our website. Glad you're here. Versus all people deserve to know their creator. Think about that just for a second. Even if you're not spiritual, that is an emotional tug. And when you can, say to someone that, in a headline like this, again, they're going to feel that connection immediately. So sometimes it's an emotional tug. Here's one of our clients. He's in the network marketing space. And, his person that he is trying to reach, what do they want? They want to level up their team. They want to get more people involved in their network marketing company. They want to build out their teams. That's at the root of what his person is after. Okay. And then if you don't know, if you're struggling, you're like, I don't even know how to do this. You have to test these things. All of these things that I've talked about, in my opinion, absolutely need to be tested. Test the headlines, see what works. Test the button text, see what works. Test the colors if you want to, see what works. The customer journey, though, I think is something you have to map out because you may want to test it, tweak it as you get feedback from people, but these are all critical components of a conversion. And don't leave out the testing. It's not a one and done kind of thing. You have to figure out what is actually going to work to attract people to you. So here's one of my examples. And I really wanted to kind of line this up and one of the reasons I'm sharing this with you is because when we started applying what we call clear messaging to our sales pages, to our websites, to our landing pages for lead gen, we saw tremendous increase in sales and conversions. So share engaging visual content each and every day. This is for our Go Social Content Club, which some 2 lucky winners today will get some of that visual content because we're giving away a collection today. But this is one of our products. And what do they want? They want engaging visual content. They do not want to hassle with it, right? So again, when we created this messaging, we saw a tremendous jump in our conversions. Our conversions were at 3 to 5, which is, above industry standard. For this particular sales page, we jumped to 30% conversions. So clear messaging is a conversion technique that absolutely works. One of the things that we have done with our Authority Creator program, and I'm going to open up the screen and show this to you, is what we call our framework. So because I think a visual really is helpful when it comes to putting the dots together. I mean, if I share all this information with you and I've told you 3 things, but how does this matter? So I'm opening up our app so that I can show you how we share this framework with our Authority Creator clients. So we have several different templates built out in here. I'm just going to open one of them for you. And again, we just applied what we call our clear messaging framework, which has the components that I've shared with you today, which is, the customer journey path, the clear calls to action, as well as the headline component. And, sometimes when you are trying to do all these things, you're like, well, what goes where? Like, I don't know how this works. So let me share what this looks like. We built out this framework for our students, and I'm thinking that it will be helpful just to show it to you so you can see where the pieces go. So let me roll back to the top here. So this is a framework. It's basically a website template that's been pre-designed with the components of the things that we've just outlined. So this would be where you put your headline, right? Here's your calls to action. Now, keep in mind that the text on all of these call to action buttons throughout the website design are all the same. They are all putting the person on the customer journey path. So whatever it is, it could be book a call, it could be, register for, or buy product, or again, whatever the thing is. And then we call these successes, success 1 and 2. Do you paint the problem? What problem do they have? Because if we've hooked them with our headline, they're going to start scanning, right? Because that's the way people do it. They scan, they're like, oh yeah, this person gets me because they're seeing my problems, right? And then, maybe you outline the ways you can help them. But with the whole thing, anyway, the whole process, the customer journey is stepped out down below. So the framework is pre-designed for our students, and they don't have to guess where the things go. And I think this is a component that is missing when people share things with you, because you're like, okay, yeah, I need these. I get it. Kim said I need these 3 things, but where do they go in the framework of the actual design? And like I say, this is just something we put together for our students. It makes it easy for them to do the thing and get the result quick and easy, so that they end up coming out on the other side with a website that is designed to convert. That is my end goal for you guys today, is that you end up with the things that I shared today. These are 3 core things that your website needs if you want to have a higher converting website. And hopefully you've picked up something. In fact, I love this. So I'm almost screaming for joy from all this super juicy goodness. I'm digging in deep. Good. I love hearing that. Awesome. Aw, this is such a sweet compliment. Thank you, Lauren. I mean, Lisa, sorry, Lisa. I was reading Lauren's name, but super sweet compliment. Thank you so much. Robin makes a great point. We are emotional creatures and we make buying decisions based around emotion. Absolutely. Such a great comment. Let's see. I'm just seeing questions. So Vicky says, what if red isn't part of your brand color palette? Such a good question, Vicky. So my suggestion, one of the things that we have traditionally done when we are doing branding for ourselves and or clients is we usually start testing with brand colors. We call them pop colors. So to me, red is a pop color. You know, it's an attention grabbing color. Most brands, if they have developed a brand color scheme or a palette, they do have a pop color usually. So we usually try to start with one of their pop colors, and sometimes they have one color, sometimes they have a couple, and that's how we start with the testing. And that would be what I would suggest you do first. If red is not one of your brand colors, what are your pop colors? And see if that makes a difference with your conversions. Such a great question. I'm just seeing what other questions we have. All right. Yeah. So Rhonda's saying there's some great questions. Let me see here. So I don't have a website, but I can see how AI could use this. Okay, so Norma, let me talk about this real quick. I don't know if you guys, I've just popped up Norma's comment here. She's talking about AI. One huge thing that I want everybody to be aware of, a lot of people is talking about AI and how it's saving them time, money, etc. And I'm not knocking that, but recently, Google announced that they were dinging websites that were using AI generated content. So, and they've got some technology that they're able to determine human developed content versus AI developed content, which puts us right back in the same boat of we got to do the work, right? So it makes sense in some constructs because, you know, as marketers, let's just be real, okay? As marketers, we're always looking for the shortcuts, right? Like we're looking to make our lives simpler, and there's not a thing in the world wrong with that, because working smarter is instead of harder is absolutely the smartest thing to do. But if it's going to impede our visibility, or hurt us in some other capacity, then yeah, maybe we need to like slow that boat just a little bit. So my suggestion when it comes to clear messaging in particular is really digging deep into the transformation that you offer using the language that your person is using, instead of trying to get a generated something generated. I think you'll find that it's going to resonate more deeply with your person, and the outcome too will be that, you know, Google will not ding you. So nobody needs that, right? Nobody needs Google saying, oh, I'm not going to give this person some visibility because, well, so Lisa says, what is the best website creator you have used? Everything goes on WordPress for us. So that said, right now we're putting all of our websites inside of our app so that our students can use them. So all of our sales page frameworks, all of our landing page frameworks have been pre-designed similarly to what I just shared with you. So that it makes it easy for us to replicate them ourselves from a template perspective, and then for the students to do the same. So the reason that we focus primarily on WordPress, well, exclusively on WordPress, is because Google likes WordPress. They're not as they don't like some of the other platforms as much. So they're very familiar are very favorite, they favorite WordPress. Maybe that's the best way of saying it. And then inside of WordPress, there are all kinds of like, what's the word I'm using? I want to use, I guess, plugins ultimately that you can use to help you facilitate the design process. So hopefully that helped a little bit, Lisa. In fact, Rhonda, if you would drop in, what is the name of that plugin? It's eluding me right off the top of my head. The plugin that we use for a more drag and drop experience inside of WordPress. I forget what it's called, but Rhonda will definitely remember it. Great question. I sell vintage, but I also work with vintage dealers as they make videos. It's just me doing this. Do I need 2 websites to keep up? I don't think so. I think sometimes that we get so wrapped up in, separation instead of developing a big umbrella around why our person wants to work with us. So I'll give you a quick example. We really had to keep, and we're getting ready to change our messaging on my website again. But when we arrived at Make More Money Online, if you go to kimgarst.com, for example, you'll be able to see this. We arrived at that because I kept asking the question, why? Why does this person come to me for, clear messaging? Well, they want more sales. Why does this person come to me? Because they want to, build a bigger audience on social media. They want more sales. Why is this person coming to me to gain more authority in their space? They want more sales. Why is this brand wanting to work with me? They want more sales. So that's how we ultimately came to that bigger umbrella. Like I say, we're getting ready to change that again because of the Authority Creator program that we just released. But the point is, if you keep asking the why of why your person wants to work with you, you come up with a bigger umbrella. There's a commonality which will help you define your transformational statement at a higher level. So I would just keep asking that question, baby. I hope I'm saying that correctly, pronouncing that correctly. There, it's Elementor. There, thank you. I see the question here. I couldn't remember it to save my soul. So Elementor, we are currently using Elementor internally. I see Larry mentions Beaver Builder. I've never heard of that one. So I can't really give you any perspective on it. I do know a lot of people use Elementor, and it's built in even to some platforms as well. Some, I would call them website design platforms, sometimes have Elementor built into their platform because it's just so easy. It's like a drag and drop kind of component. That's basically even like, I'll pull my website back up here, or this example that we have for our students to kind of give you some perspective too. I mean, as you can see, this is basically a very drag and drop. Any of this stuff can be very quickly edited. You can replace your image by just simply going over here. All of this is what I would call more of a drag and drop and or ease of facilitating the outcome, because the reality is most people are not web designers, right? So having the framework so that you know what goes where, I'm telling you, absolutely stinking invaluable, seriously, because when you don't do this for a living, if you have it laid out for you, it changes your life. I'm not just saying that, it does. And it will give you the outcome you're looking for. So having the framework is one thing. And then the design flow is the next thing. How do I make this look good? I change this picture. I put my logo here. I put a little icon here. Those are things that are, again, easy to do if you already have placeholders for the things. But if you're trying to do this on, from scratch, it usually is what I find holds people back from actually getting the outcome. And nobody needs that. So, If that is something like I said, one of the things that we're doing with our Authority Creator program is providing this framework, because it's the basics of what I call authority. If you can't project authority from your website and convert leads and sales, right? So this is one of the core components of our authority program, is helping you develop that authority website, so that you have a website that's going to convert leads and sales for you. So definitely, if you're interested, check it out. We would love to have a chat and see if it's for you. Like I say, it would give you so many amazing leg ups, because we're providing all of our frameworks, the things that we've spent years developing, so that you don't have to. But hopefully, like I say, I'm just going to make sure, did I miss any other questions? If I have not answered your question and just missed it for some reason, please feel free to drop it in. Going back through the questions, I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything. But it's sometimes easy to miss things if you're scrolling quickly. And if you are watching on the replay and I'm not still here, then just drop your questions in. We do monitor obviously socials, and we'll definitely get back to you. All right. Excellent. All right, so let me share our winners for today, guys and gals. Our winners today is Robin Carter and Nikki Adele. I hope I said that right. For winning the Engaging Collection #1, if you'll go over to kimgarst.com/winner, give us your details. We'll get you a login, get you signed up so that you can start using that engaging content. Awesome. So the replay is right here, Norma. If you are on Facebook, the video will be on my business page. It's also on all the other socials where we were live. So it'll be on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube as well. Yep. So you can go back, watch it at your leisure. Make it bigger so you can see the pieces if you need to. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for hanging in there with me today. It has been so much fun. I always love to share what I know with others. So doing the solo shows gives me a chance to really feel like I'm making a difference. So hopefully this has been some value-based to you guys, and you can run with it. All right. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Next week, we are going to, I'll just real quickly share. Next week, our special guest is Jana. Jana is somebody who helps people find their perfect integrator. Integrator. An integrator is somebody who helps us figure out all the business things. And I'm excited to have her. So we'll be talking about that next week. Next Monday, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll see you guys next week. Take care of yourselves until then. Stay safe, and God bless.